this afternoon. Okay, there we go. Now it's live on YouTube. All right, so before we do begin with our program this afternoon, we would like to start with a quick warm-up activity to see how much you know already about a job interview and how it goes about. So I would like to invite everybody to go over to menti.com again. And then we're going to play a quick game on Menti. Give me a moment. Please type in the code 4517-2673. Let me just share my screen. Hi. 4517-2673. So of course, meron din naman tayong prizes for whoever wins our little game this afternoon. Ayun, may dalawa na, may tatlo. So I hope we will all participate this afternoon para alive tayong lahat. So again, the code is 4517-2673. In our Zoom meeting. Tapos, ayan, there we go. Sige. Hopefully, meron pang sasali. Again, the code is 4517-2673. So for whoever wins this game, you can just come over to our office here at UM Bolton to claim your UM merch. Yung nanalo last seminar, nag-claim na sila sa kanilang UM merch. So kung meron, I think meron pang isa na hindi pa nag-claim, so pwede na siyang pumunta to claim. So any more players so that we can start? May hahabol pa ba? 4517-2673. Ayan. Sige, I guess we have enough players now. All right, okay, let's begin our game. Again, remember the goal of this game is pabilisan ng tag answer. Okay, so let us now, I think we have enough players. All right, very good, let's begin. So our first question for this afternoon is, what should not be worn in a job interview? Again, what should not be worn in a job interview? Is it a color-coordinated attire, flashy clothes and jewelry, or a watch? Which one should you not wear to a job interview? 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Let's have a look. Majority of you answered flashy clothes and jewelry, which is correct, of course, because it is a formal event or activity. Let's have a look at our leaderboard to see who is leading. Right now, at the top of our leaderboard, we have Val, if I am not mistaken. There we go. So we have Val with 971 points. So let's move forward to our next question. Question number 2. Again, as fast as you can. An applicant who is physically attractive and appropriately dressed generally is rated higher in the interview versus unattractive ones. True, interviewers' reaction are strongly influenced by appearance. False, the idea is so discriminating, and not sure unless one is applying for a modeling job. So 3, 2, 1. And majority of you answered true. An interviewer's reaction is influenced by the appearance, which is also correct, which is why we're going to learn about what to wear and what not to wear to a job interview today. So let's have a look at our leaderboard. O si Val pa rin ba yung nanguna? Okay. And let's see. Okay, there we go. Still with the highest points is Val. So hopefully ma-maintain natin yan, Val, no? Para makuha natin yung prize natin later on. Question number 3. Question number 3, which of the following is not an advisable body language during an interview? So smiling and nodding, leaning at the back of the chair, or resting an arm on the table. Which one is not an advisable body language during an interview? 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Let's have a look. Leaning at the back of the chair, and majority of you got the answer correctly. Good job. Let's have a look at our leaderboard one more time. Val, ikaw pa rin ba? ang nangunguna. Let's have a look. Oh, it seems like someone... Ayun, mas mabilis si Richie this time. Richie Gabato, you are now at the top of our leaderboard. Let's see if makakabawi pa ba si Val. Let's check question number 4. Again, pabilisan ito ng pag-click ng answer. For male applicants, the color of the belt should match the color of one's coat, watch, or shoes. Ano dapat yung mag-match ang kulay? Yung belt and coat, belt and watch, or belt and shoes? Okay, 3, 2, 1. And time's up. Majority of you answered the coat or suit, which is incorrect. So for male applicants, you will later on learn that your belt should match the color of your shoes. Okay, so let's have a look if nakahabol ba si Val or may bago na ba. Okay. Let's have a look. Ayun, nakahabol na si Val. Gusto niya yung UM merch talaga. Sige. Let's have one last question if I'm not mistaken. Question number 5. Again, pabilisan ng pag-answer. Entrepreneurship helps grow the economy. This one is an alternative to self-employment, wage employment, or those who are not interested in taking charge of a business. So entrepreneurship is an alternative to what? Self-employment, wage employment, or those not interested in taking charge of a business. Time's up. Let's have a look at your answers. Majority of you answered self-employment, which is wrong. It is actually an alternative to wage employment. Okay, so let's see. Sino ba yung nanalo sa game natin this afternoon? Is it Val or nakahabol ba si Richie? Okay. All right, there we have it. It seems Val has reclaimed his position. So Val, are you here? Can you hear us? Can you maybe turn on your mic so that I will know that you are with us? Or baka nasa YouTube siya nanonood. Val?
Nag-chat siya.
Nag-chat siya. All right. Okay. Sige. So, congratulations, Val. You may come over to our office here at UM Bolton to claim your rights. Okay. So, thank you so much, everybody, for taking part in our little warm-up game. So, that should give you an idea now of what we are going to be doing or what we are going to be learning for this afternoon's session. So, without any further ado, let us welcome our speaker for this afternoon, no other than the Vice President for External Relations and International Affairs, Dr. Ray Castro. Virtual round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Kate, and good afternoon to our KAED 500 students. This is my second session with you. We learned from our first session the importance of writing, preparing a winning cover letter, application letter, and your resume, and how to ace your job interview. We learned that the purpose of your application letter and of your resume is for you to get an interview, for you to receive, for you to be scheduled for a job interview. And the purpose of the interview is that's where the screening committee, the hiring officer, or the HR determines who among the candidates are the best fit, best person for the position. Okay? And let's continue our discussion this afternoon with nonverbal communication, still part of the things that you need to observe when you're in a job interview. I hope that you will listen attentively. We're in an unholy hour. I hope that you had your lunch and that if you feel you're feeling sleeping, you like drink some coffee or what, And another thing that we're going to discuss is that we're going to discuss a bit about entrepreneurship. And the last part of our session this afternoon is the chance for you to participate in our mock interview. All right. So I hope that you'll take that chance, you'll take that opportunity because it's not actually to shame you. We observe in our morning session that students are so adamant. They don't like to volunteer. Only very few have participated in our mock interview. Please participate, please volunteer because that's where you can develop, enhance your confidence, all right? Kasi sabi natin, 'di ba, ang pinaka-basis talaga of hiring ng mga ng mga hiring officer actually is the interview. So talaga we want to spend time no with you para makita natin how to address and how to improve your performance in a job interview. And you also ask questions, okay? All right, so let me share my screen. Okay, so we're going to talk about nonverbal communication this afternoon. When you're in a job interview, three things that you have to remember always, no? Three cues important in a job interview. One is vocal, the tone of your voice. Second is the physical appearance, the clothes that you are going to wear, the proper attire, the color combination of your attire. And then the third one is body movement or gestural, no? The movement of your hands, no? Eye contact, and the like. All right. Okay. It says here that the evaluation of your nonverbal communication starts as soon as you walk into the company's lobby, especially if you're in a face-to-face job interview, no? And it continues until the interview is finished. So the moment that you enter into the premises of the company, of the organization, you have to be wary, you have to be careful, take extra care of your nonverbal communication because the tendency is that most of these companies have installed CCTV in their lobby or in a waiting room while you're asked to stay waiting for your turn to be interviewed while the rest of the interviewing team, members of the interviewing team, are staying in a separate room and they're making initial assessment of your nonverbal communication. No? Unsa baka kung halimbawa you are there alone or you are in a waiting room. All right? If your nonverbal communication skills aren't up to par, it won't matter how well you answer the question. So even if you're good, you're spontaneous, no, you have good content in your answers, but your nonverbal communication speaks otherwise, then it will not matter at all. I mean, for sure you will not get the job. No, you will not be selected because there's the other side of you that's being evaluated by them, and that you have not shown outstanding performance in that regard. Nonverbal communication, why it's given importance, no? It says here that it's driven by someone's emotional state and instinct. So how you're feeling, like nervousness and not very confident, you'll be more likely to fidget and avoid eye to eye contact. The HR, the screening committee, the hiring officer during job interview, for sure they're looking for someone who is very confident. Um, because if you look confident, it means that you know the job well, you know the requirements of the position, you know the expectations of the job. And if you have that confidence, therefore, and if you like, you're the better performer compared to other applicants, for sure you will be selected by the hiring officer, even if the truth is other candidates may be more qualified and more deserving, no, more competent to perform the job. But in the interview, hindi maganda yung kanilang performance, for sure they will not be chosen. All right? Kasi nga yung nonverbal communication mo is brought about by feeling mo na hindi ka confident and the like, no? Okay. The interviewer's reaction to job candidates are strongly influenced by the applicant's appearance. So how you look, how you dress yourself, baka hindi ka naligo, hindi ka, alam mo yon, hindi pleasing yung personality mo the time that you're in a job interview. It's a demerit, no, on your part. Studies show that persons who are attractive and appropriately dressed generally receive higher ratings than ones judged to be unattractive or inappropriately dressed. We receive feedback from different HR, from different, industries, that sometimes the problem with our graduates when they appear, no, during job interview, sa ano pa lang, sa suot pa lang nila hindi na sila preparado, no? They're not prepared base sa kanilang suot, sa kanilang style, no, sa kanilang outfit, no, and the like. So how much more if you appear unprepared, how much more if you will be given the job, no? So if you will be hired for the position, it will really give an impression that really you cannot perform, and that you will have lackluster performance, no? Lutang moment ka kasi hindi ka nakapaghanda, no? An interviewee must be credible. In order for him or for her to form a positive impression, they must have self-confidence, attitude, and positive personality traits, no? So importante yung confidence, importante yung alam mo yon, you have to show to the interviewer that you are ready for the job, all right? That you know what are the requirements of the position, that you have a better grasp on the expectation of the job, no? Human communication consists of 65% nonverbal and only 35% consists of words. Typical example of that is that when you're having uh, um, date, no, week saree celebration or a month saree celebration, 'di ba? Sometimes what do you expect? What you are expecting from your partner is that the full attention. And if you notice that something, something that's bothering the person, the one that you're dating with, or if the attention is not with you, like sige kuri sa cellphone, for sure, di ba, you will feel disgruntled, you will feel not happy, no? You will argue, or you will react to the person that you are having a date with, because it seems that the full attention is not with you at that time. So that's non-verbal communication. So even if, like, that person is talking to you and the attention is not fully focused on you, you will cry foul on it, di ba? So that's a typical example of how non-verbal communication can be observed. Kahit hindi mo sinasabi na wala sa akin ang attention mo, but I can sense that, di ba? Yung mga ganon, no? So the same thing in a job interview, okay? So what are non-verbal communication? This includes facial expressions, no? So you avoid frowning, dapat you have to radiate a positive energy, no? A positive personality. Sandali lang. And I do not know if you have experienced sometimes, or if you have noticed sometimes, that there are some people, even if they have not done anything wrong with you, and the moment that you see them, no, makita mo sila, parang nasisira araw mo, no? Parang alam mo 'yon, ayaw mo sila makita. Wala silang ginawa na masama sa iyo. So something like that. So I mean, there are really personalities that when you see them, they radiate negative energy. So I think that's something that we have to evaluate to ourselves, no? We have to ask other people, our friends, that how they feel if you are with them. Are they happy, or are there something wrong? No? You have to be open to that, because you have to make some improvement of yourself, no? The tone of your voice is also very important. Dapat professional sounding ang boses mo. Dili pud ka murag manti-anak, no? Murag ka nang naipit o tingog, something like that, no? So if you think that there's something wrong with your voice, you record your voice and find out how to improve the tone of your voice, no? Then you have their movement, appearance. We're going to talk about that in a little while, specifically about what you should wear during job interview. Eye contact and gestures. So these are nonverbal communications, and these are the things that you need to observe when you're in a job interview, when you're facing the interviewer. So what are the advisable body language during job interview? One is that you make eye contact with the interviewer for a few seconds at a time. If you're in an online interview, then you have to concentrate your eyes, no, to the camera, because when you're looking at the camera, it seems that you're also looking to the eyes of the other person that you're talking to, no? When you're in an on-site or in a face-to-face interview, then you really have to maintain eye-to-eye contact, all right? Because if you don't do that, most of the time, you avoid eye contact of the interviewer, meaning to say that you are avoiding something, you are hiding something, and that you are not confident of yourself. You are not confident of your answers, all right? You're looking for best answer somewhere else. You smile and you nod at appropriate times when the interviewer is talking. Do not laugh unless the interviewer does first. Or if there's nothing to be laughed at, then don't do that, no? All right? Don't slouch. You relax and you lean forward a little towards the interviewer so you appear interested and engaged. Most especially if you're in a face-to-face interview, no? So, dili ka pwede masandig because if you're going to do that, then you will look too casual and relaxed. It seems that you're at the same level, you're at the same status with the one doing the interview, where in fact not, no? I mean, you have to accord some level of respect to that person doing the interview. You keep your feet on the floor and your back against the lower back on the chair. You pay attention and you have to look interested. You listen, do not interrupt. You stay calm even if you had bad experience in previous job interviews. You keep your emotions to yourself. The thing about us Filipinos is that we are very emotional, no? Once our emotion is affected, once something that is not favorable to us, something that's not pleasing to our ears are being said about us, no? Is thrown at us, we are going to react on it, no? There is no, we don't give so much time on pondering how are we going to process, no, and what would be the right reaction we are going to share, no, to the person. Makita mo yan sa social media, grabe ngayon ang political arguments, no, mga bickering, and in fact meron ng mga cancel culture, meron ng mga awayan, friends are getting sour, relationship are getting sour because of political affiliations, no, and political beliefs. I think we have to be very professional in dealing issues like that, no? So kayo Kain 500 students, dapat you also have to be professional in receiving information on how are you going to take on some issues, no? And don't let your emotion govern you, manage you, no? When you are going to deal a certain situation, you have to be rational. You have to use your brain over your emotion. After all, I'm a firm believer that at the end of the day, it's your brain, no? It's the cells, no? Brain cells that controls your emotion, diba? So do not let your emotions overpower your rational decisions, all right? Okay. Not sure what to do with your hands? You can hold a pen and notepad. At least in that sense, you will look like a genius one, a smart one, no? Or rest an arm on the chair or on your lap so you look comfortable. Because if you will not manage your hands, no, what are you going to do with your hands? The thing there is that, sige ka pa kumpas-kumpas, no, ma-over ka na kaayo sa imong kumpas, all right? So don't let your arms fly around the room when you're making a point. So let's talk about attire. Careful. Again, careful because this is going to be the first impression. And tama yung kasabihan, the first impression will make a long-lasting impression, you know. It will instill in the mind and in the impression of the one doing the interview that this is your personality based on the way the attire that you wear during the time, no, and how you carry yourself. So that's why you have to be careful, you have to be wary, no. You spend so much time in thinking what suits you, all right, what best fits you, no. What dapat meron kang yung tinatawag natin na branding of yourself, all right. Pag sinasabi mong ganitong style of clothing ka, then ikaw yan. Okay? All right. So let's talk about attire for the gentleman. Let's start with the gentleman. You can work with colors and layers. This is tip number one. And in fact, this is one of the most important tips that I can give you when it comes to attire. Why? Because kayo, Kaed 500 students, your generation, you have an impression that there's an impression in your generation that you're the people with taste for fashion and style. Okay? So kung may taste for fashion and style kayo, alam nyo yung what's best for you, conscious kayo because you started, sa henerasyon ninyo na pauso yung OOTD, alright? Uh, Meaning to say that you're so conscious about how you look, no, your personality, and if you have that thinking, and you're going to show that the way you wear, no, the way you carry yourselves during your interview, and the color combinations and color coordinations that you have, will give an impression to the interviewer that you are a keen person when it comes to standards, all right? And because there's an impression about you, no, on you in that regard, it's going to bolster your chances of being chosen for the position, all right? All right. So the thing there is that you have to make it sure that the colors are coordinated with each other, and you're familiar with the basic color wheels, all right? The color wheels, the color combinations you have there, no? So like, match and mix and match. So I suggest that you start investing in a nice attire. Ngayon pa lang, no, mag-ipon na kayo para meron kayong nice attire, and once you enter into a transition in your career, in a few weeks of your job, meron ka ng work, kung wala ka pang uniform, if the company requires you to wear a uniform while nire-ready pa ang uniform mo, dapat magbuka ka talaga isang professional, no? Okay. And in fact, there's a study that once you're in a company, yung attire mo, the way you carry yourselves, the way you you know, wear clothes and the like, is also one of the factors being considered for promotions, no? So when you're up for promotion, one consideration that they may take into is how candidates, no, how those potential for promotion wear, no, clothes, or the personality that they have as expressed in the way that they wear something, right? Second is that if the job happens during cold months, like what we are experiencing right now, rainy season, or if the job requires so much, you know, mobility, so much hopping from one place to another, there's a need for you to travel a lot, then you can wear sweater and button down, because you're showing to the interviewer, to the hiring officer, that you're the person who is always on the go. And that's the requirement of the position. And you know it, you know the requirement of the position. That's why you are wearing that attire. All right? Okay. Third is that if the job requires you to stay in the office most of the time, and most likely, no, most of the time you will also be seen by the top honchos in the organization, those who are occupying higher positions like managers or leaders, whoever they are, especially if you're in a private company, then you have to be corporatist in your arrive, no, in your attire. You have to be in a corporate look. Why blue? Because there's also an impression that your generation, kayo yung mga taong hindi loyal. Kaya nga nauso sa inyo ang hashtag na walang forever. Kasi kayo yung mga taong dali magsawa, no, madali magsawa. Nauso sa inyo ang mga mabilisan, napakadali ninyong maglipat at magpalit, no? Napakadali ninyong mag-decide and all, no? Kaya yung mga pagkain na quick chow siguro brought about by that, no? Fast food like Jollibee and McDo, no? So merong impression na hindi kayo loyal, and if you really want, no, badly the job, then you have to show to the interviewer that you're not. I mean, you are a different person. You're different from the general impression from your generation. So you are a loyal person, and the color blue represents that color, no? Loyalty. And another thing is that the nice thing about blue is that you can match it with different colors of your pants, so that again there you are maintaining the impression that your generation has taste for fashion and style. Okay? You're not sure of whether the job needs you to travel a lot or needs you to stay in the office most of the time. You have to stay in the safe zone, and the safe zone, gentlemen, is to wear casual button down, no? You're safe. That's the safest, no? Or you can go back to basics, that's wearing wearing red and white. Wearing black and white. Okay. All right. So generally for the guys, you can wear suit, solid color, because the solid color represents authority, represents that you know your crafts. Okay. You have a better knowledge, better training, better exposure of the requirement of the position. So that what the solid color represents. When you're wearing a suit, you have to wear a long sleeve. Do not wear a suit that's inside of it is a short sleeve. No? Make it sure that when you're wearing a suit, you're wearing a long sleeve, because there's a rule that in a suit, for example, or even in a blazer, the sleeve should be longer by an inch, no, compared to your suit. Then you wear belts and then tie, dark socks, conservative leather shoes. You can wear little jewelry or no jewelry at all. But when you're wearing a jewelry, the most important jewelry for the guys are watches. Because again, it speaks something about the perspective of the person and about the socio-economic status of that person wearing that watch. No? So makita mo, ma-judge mo, magkaroon ka ng better impression sa isang tao when it comes to his perspectives in life, when it comes to his maturity, when it comes to his priorities, and then when it comes to his socio-economic status, base sa kanyang relo na sinuot. No? So again, aside from investing in a nice attire, I also suggest that you invest in a nice watch. And pag watch, hindi lang dapat isa, no? Kasi iba-ibang occasion, iba-ibang klaseng watch. Ang pang sports watch mo or pang weekend watch mo may not be the same watch that you are going to use when you're in an office, all right, or when you're in a more formal environment, okay, and vice versa. If you're, for example, in an outdoor activity, the watch that you have worn during when you're in an office should maybe not necessarily maybe the same now, okay. Neat professional hairstyle, you limit the aftershave, neatly trimmed nails. And for sure, the ladies would agree with me if I would say that guys with untrimmed nails are so yucks. I mean, feeling nako kanang ang mga laki nga kanang walay hinguko, mga bitukon, no? Hugawan and bitukon. So it's not. Isa sa mga ginatanaw gyud ang kuko, no, during job interview. You can bring portfolio or briefcase. All right? Okay. So for the ladies, these are the suggested attire. You can wear sweater and black dress pants. No, you can experiment with button down. Why, pants or button down? Because especially if you're going to travel, no, from your house going to the interview area, you're going to take a public utility vehicle. No, so um, that's for easy mobility. No, all right. Just like the guys, if the job requires you to stay in the office most of the time and be seen by the top honchos in the organization, then you can wear navy blue blazer and khaki shirt. Why navy blue? Again, for the same reason. No? All right. And in that sense, you look so corporatist without compromising the impression that your generation has taste for fashion and style. If the job requires you to move a lot, to travel a lot, then you can wear button down and V-neck sweater, especially if the interview or the hiring process happens during cold months. No, all right. If you're into sales and marketing, you have to be feminine in your look. Kahit 500 students, no. Once you're involved in sales and marketing, or the job requires you to see to close a deal, for example, negotiate with clients, talk with clients, and the like, then you have to radiate a soft energy, a soft personality, a softer personality, so that you will capture the interest of your clients. No? Okay. For those of you who are into highly technical and career that requires, technical expertise, like for example, engineering, architecture, probably criminology, then you can wear something black. You can add an iota of black color, in your attire, because black represents authority. Black represents knowledge and expertise in a technical field. Okay, just like engineering, just like architecture, and other fields that are highly technical in nature. So you can include something that's color black there in your attire. Okay, or black dress and tights, okay. All right, so I hope that you take note of that, and as I said, you start investing in a nice attire, preparing you for the job interview, especially if the job that you're applying, no, by that moment is the job that you really wanted to, and that you foresee yourself that you will be staying for quite some time, no, and that it will take years for you to shift career once you will get that job, no. Okay, let's talk about entrepreneurship. Part of the discussion in the Kain 500 is that some of you may be interested to pursue your own business. And entrepreneurship, in our Menti quiz, you have learned that it's an alternative to wage employment. There are two types of employment: self-employment and wage employment. Wage employment are those that are working in a company, just like me. No, I'm working in the University of Mindanao, so I have my employer. Or any one of you who are working in a different organization, even in government. Self-employment are those that are running their own business. That's why it says here, be your own boss, because you're the owner of the company. You're not receiving any instruction from other people, but you're the one giving instruction, and you're hiring other people to work for you. No, and in fact, that's what we are needing right now, especially in our country, because we have a big supply of labor, and the number of available jobs may not be sufficient for the number of labor supply that we have. So the best thing that we can do, no, for some of us is probably to start our own business, because in that case we are helping our governments, and that we are also creating jobs. So entrepreneurship is about working for oneself. It's an alternative to wage employment and starting your own business. So these are the qualities, these are the checklists, no, that you may take a look at to find out if you have the qualities of the entrepreneur, and if you have all this, no, qualities, if you possess all these qualities, then there might be possibility that you will be successful, no, if you're going to start your own business. Number one in the list is that entrepreneur are risk taker. When you say risk taker, although when you get into entrepreneurship, it's full of uncertainty. It's just like you're getting into a cave, and into a dark cave, that you do not know what's inside that cave, no, all right. And where's the end of that cave? Where are you heading to? But the thing there is that you have a clear goal why you are doing that, no. So you are banking on your clear goal, on your clear objectives, despite consequences. What would be the consequences if you fail? Then make that experience as a lesson, as your best teacher, as your lesson, something like that. So that's risk taker. And kayo dapat, mga KN 500 students, dapat mataas ang risk qualities ninyo, no? Dapat mataas ang risk index ninyo. Kasi bakit? You have to think that you only pass this stage of your life once, no? Nasa 20s kayo. Hindi ko alam bakit nauso yung mga quarter life crisis. Sa panahon namin walang mga ganyang quarter life crisis, no? Yung mga nawawala ang mga direction. Minsan you question your existence. You see that you are being left behind. I mean, young people like those who are in their 20s, I've encountered, no, so many of them are into that zone. I mean, during our time, we have not experienced that. Although meron na noon yung tinatawag na quarter life crisis, but there's no such thing as, meron na noon yung midlife crisis, pero yung quarter life crisis wala, no? So take the risk, no? Enjoy, explore the world, all right? The second quality that you may try to see in yourself if you want to be an entrepreneur is that you're willing to work hard. You don't count the number of hours for you to be able to be productive and for you to be able to be successful in your objective, in your career objective. All right? You don't mind. You don't count each minute or each hour, every hour that you think that I should be compensated for this. If I'm going to spend a little more time for my work, what matters to me is the experience and the thing that I will learn from this, because there's an intrinsic value on it. No, not everything can be converted into monetary value, which are said to be extrinsic value or extrinsic benefit, but they're also intrinsic ones. No, you're passionate about pursuing a business idea. When you go into entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean that magsari-sari store ka, maninda ka o ka ng, say tawag ani ka ng maruya, di ba? Pag entrepreneur ka, dapat you, if it is an existing business, you do some tweaking, no? You inject something new, no? In the new product or in the service, no? In the existing product or in the existing service, no? Hindi pwede yung maninda ka lang og kuan, sari-sari, nag-open ka sari-sari, entrepreneur ka na agad, no, di ba? I mean, entrepreneurs are movers and they are innovators, di ba? They take initiatives, they have creative minds, all right? You're not afraid to lose money, time, and face, because if you lose money, if you lose time, that's part of your investment. That's part of, just like, when you're taking the course that you're into right now, the years that you have experience in the university are also the time, no, that the same resources that you want to spend, to put into in your journey, no, in your risk of becoming an entrepreneur. Another thing to check, to find out in yourself, is that if you're the person who can easily bounce back when things fail. Ibig sabihin, ikaw ba yung taong madali makapag-move on? No? Dali makalimot sa sakit, makalimot sa nagdaan, yung mga ganon. So dahil kung naiwan ka sa kahapon, may problema tayo dyan, no? Diba? Ibig sabihin, once ganyan ang personality mo, and if you fail in your business endeavor, then how can you recover? How can you bounce back? All right? So dapat i-assess mo ang sarili mo kung chokes lang, no? Kung if you fail, chokes lang. Dali ko mag-move on. All right? Ganon. Physically and emotionally able to withstand the pressures. Sorry. You are resourceful and innovative. You have the ability to envision the future. You know how to sell and market either a product or a service or both, no? And you know how to handle money well. So test that to yourself. Are you that person who is so splurge, no? Or who is so prudent in handling your finances, no? So dalawa lang 'yon. Splurge ka ba or prudent ka ba, no, in your finances? Alam mo 'yon, no? Test that to yourself. Kung punta ka sa mall or punta ka somewhere else, na yung mga tao nga dali lang gid kay mag-star na ilang mata kung naa sila makitaan. Even if that thing is not so important, no? Pag-isipan mo kung after buying that one, kung sunod-sunod ba, no? In a month's time, ilang beses mo siya magamit, or baka isang beses mo lang siya magamit or dalawang beses, di ba? So how important that item that you're going to spend, your hard-earned money. All right? So that's it. So what does it take to become an entrepreneur? You assess yourself. That's a checklist, no? You can have a self-audit. You study the business that you want to go into. You ask for advice and ask for help. That's why if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be successful, I already mentioned that in our last Kain 500, that you associate yourself with successful people, no? So that you will be getting the same virus from them, na, di ba? Kaya nga ayaw natin maglapit, no? Mag keep distance tayo doon sa mga positive sa COVID, because we don't like na mahawa tayo ng kanilang virus. So, baliktarin natin. Gusto natin maging successful, gusto natin maging entrepreneur, So therefore, we have to associate and rub elbows with people who are successful in their career and who are also successful entrepreneurs so that we can get something from them. We can learn from them. Okay? What about financing? What about financial support? Well, if you go into entrepreneurship, hindi naman pwede zero ka, no? Dapat meron ka talaga share, all right? And if your money is not enough, then there are windows that can help you. There are microfinancing, no? Like for example, there are government institutions, government agencies where you can go, you can visit and inquire how you can access financial assistance from them if you are interested to go into entrepreneurship. Like you can go to DTI, there's Go Negosyo, no? You can go to Department of Labor, DOST, they also have that, no? You can go to city government. There is a specific office which can help you about your desire to start your own business. No, the thing there is that go out and expose yourself to the world. Do not just stay in the nook because the business will not come to you. No, you have to search for it. No, okay, all right. So let's start now our mock interview. Again, the purpose of this is not to shame you, not to embarrass you, but there is a belief, strong belief that every time you go into this, it will hone your craft, it will sharpen your saw, it will bolster your confidence. So I suggest, I urge our KAID 500 students to really participate and volunteer so that we can assess which area you are strong at and which area you need some improvements. No, after all, that's the intention why we are here, and that's the purpose why we are offering the course. Okay, so remember that interview questions can be simple, object, mirror, and unconnected. There are questions that test your ability, your knowledge, your competence about the requirement of the position, and there are also questions that talks about that inquires about or that probe about your personality, your character, whether you are a person who is polite and respectful or you're otherwise. Okay, in interview there's the rule of three. No, one is that you have to be brief. No, do not go around the bush. You have to go straight to the point, what is being asked. That's the most important thing there. No, you have to be articulate because your spontaneity, your being an articulate will show that you have a good command in communication, and that you are confident in what you are talking about. You speak with authority in what you're talking about. And try to have your own structure for you to be able to avoid going around the bush. No? The practice of having your own style and structure, not really your own style, but adapting a particular style and structure in answering a job interview or in conversing with other people in a more formal manner will help you gather your thoughts and go straight to the point. No? Remember that job interview, you're in a job application and that you are trying to market yourself. You are trying to convince, no, the hiring officers, the members of the hiring committee, that you're the best applicant for the position. Okay, that you're the best fit for the position. Okay, and so how are you going to do that? You address their needs. You cannot do that without studying, researching ahead of time the requirements and expectations of the position, the culture of the company. You cannot do that. So that's why before the job interview, before taking the initial steps in your application process, you need to have a better grasp of everything from the job, from the tasks, duties and responsibilities, and the culture and practices and existence of the company. No, you need to do that. You need to take extra effort. And then if you have that, no, what's in it for them? If you will be chosen, no, if they will choose you, if they will pick you, then how you can make a significant contribution? What's in you that you know that that will make themselves say that, we hired the best person, the best candidate, because it's very difficult for us to find this talent, the skills of this person from the other candidates. This morning, there's a question from one of the KAED 500 students that how she's going to prove to the interviewer that she has better qualifications than other candidates. You know what I mean? Because, let's accept the fact that the interviewer, at the end of the day, after the interview, they will do benchmarking. They will do some comparison. No? This candidate number one has this personality, has this qualification, and the other candidates has this and has that. So they're going to compare. They're going to compare notes, share their views, no, and assessment to all the candidates. So how can you differentiate yourself if number one, you don't have idea of the requirements of the position. And number two, if you don't have any idea about who are the applicants, who are the other candidates, who are the other persons, the persons who are also interested for the position. So, makimarites ka. And ang nagtanong kanina, morning, criminology siya, no? Sabi ko, criminology ka man. So magaling ka sa investigation, di ba? Magaling ka marites, no? Magaling ka maghanap ng mga information. So what you can do is that you investigate, no? Beforehand, before your interview, who are the other applicants, di ba? Makichismis ka, makichika ka. In economics, meron tayong tinatawag na transactions cost, no? Then you need to take extra effort to get the information, because what is more important there is that access to information. And the why there's a transaction cost, because of the purpose of you getting important information, that as much as possible you're the one who can get that. You know what I mean? Big sabihin, ikaw lang ang nakakuha ng impormasyon na yon at wala ang iba. Kailangan mo yon to your advantage. Okay? In a giyera, in a world war, that's very important. It will give you an edge, no? Okay? All right. And then focus on them, no? Focus on them. Focus on the organization. It's not about you anyway. That's why questions like, I need that my salary be like this. You have to hire me because my father lost his job during pandemic. My mom is a full-time mom. She has no work. I have 6 siblings. I'm the eldest of them all, and they're not dependent on my chief support. So I need your help. And if you're going to hire me, it's also akin to saying that you're helping my family. No, it's not. I mean, they don't care. They will not care about that. So what are the anticipating questions? So questions, after all, is all about your life, your qualifications, your experience, your character. It's number one in the list because especially if the position requires so much technical expertise, no? And that's very crucial in their decision making, no? In their selection for the best candidate. Then you have to focus on that. You have to, from time to time, mention what are your qualifications and the skills that you possess that may give you at the competitive position, no? At the advantage position. The other one is questions about your idea, your knowledge about the job requirement, no? And the organization. Whether you have done advanced research, no? With regards to the position and our organization. So things that you need to prepare before the interview. One is that you have to remind yourself of the important things. No checklist. You research the company, assess your skills, and try to match ahead of time the skills that you have, the abilities that you have, the experience that you have to the requirement of the position and what the employer wants. No? What are their expectations, no? What they're looking for from the candidates, and what are your potentials. Which means when I say potentials is that if you will be hired for the position, then what would be your best contribution in the future. Okay, I think we can start, and in this case I'll turn over the virtual floor to Kate to um, do the mock interview. Kate.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So hopefully you were all listening to what Sir Ray was discussing earlier on when it comes to answering our job interview questions. So now that we are going to begin with our
I'll
job
stop
interview.
sharing, Kate, no, because you have your PowerPoint.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So sino yung gustong mauna sa job interview, mock job interview natin? Do we have any volunteers? Volunteers, kung sino yung gustong mag-try sa ating mock job interview. It won't be hard. Simple questions lang naman. And as we said earlier on, it's better to volunteer now and experience it here while hindi pa siya totoo. Kasi malay nyo sa actual na job interview nyo, yun yung itatanong sa inyo. At least by that time, alam nyo na kung paano siya sagutin. So, sige, let's have a look. Sino ba yung gusto mag-volunteer? We have 133 participants right now. So, Sharo, maski isa, walay gusto mag-volunteer. Any volunteers? Wala. Volunteers. If walang volunteers, ako na lang yung tatawag ng tao. And I hope that you'll also participate. Pero kung may mag-volunteer, much better. Ayun, may nag-volunteer. Yes, Joshua Bazar. If I did not read your name incorrectly.
Hello,
Hi,
ma'am. Good
Joshua.
afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon. Give me a moment. Let me just share my screen. Ayan. Alright. Sige. So, Joshua, good afternoon. Can you give us a quick rundown of your details, maybe your name and your course?
Should I turn on my camera, ma'am?
Yes, please, if you can.
Okay, so I will introduce myself na ma'am.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Joshua Bazar, and I am a third-year student from the College of Teacher Education. I am not yet a graduate, but I am taking a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English, and I am an active officer of the English major organization, which is the Empowered Language and Literature Teacher Society, where we take up online events, and we make this happen to enhance literature and language competence amongst the students. So I'm still a student, and I am pursuing myself as a working professional someday with the equipped skill that are needed for me to succeed in my career or field as a professional someday.
Okay,
That's
wow. Thank you so much, Joshua. No, so you are I'm just curious, Joshua, no, kasi you said that you're currently a student at the same time you're active sa student org, no? So how do you manage your time between those two activities?
Actually, ma'am, to be honest, it's not easy to put your officer's role and student's role at the same time. But I am that kind of person who loves to work under pressure. I can say that the pressure that I have with myself makes me driven to finish the task. And being an officer does not only require you to be adept and flexible to the things you do, but it gives you the sense of challenge that you can do things while being a student, while at the same time contributing to your organization as an officer. So I can work under pressure, and this pressure makes me driven to finish things in a beautiful way, ma'am.
Okay, wow, that's awesome. Hindi pa yun yung interview question, no? So
Yes.
thank you so much, Joshua. Let's have a go at our first interview question. Your question is, what can you do for us that other candidates can't?
Well, it's kind of difficult question since I cannot attest to the qualities that the other candidates have, but something that I could assure that I have the qualities of myself is that first, I am hardworking person. Like if there are tasks that are thrown to me, I do it with not only competence but passion and eagerness to finish the task. And I have three skills, which are human skill. I love to interact with other people. I have conceptual skill, which I possess the knowledge that is required set of frameworks, theories that I could apply in practical situations. And also I have technical skill in using devices which are deemed necessary for the job that I can do. So maybe those skills are something that I am proud that I think that I could elevate myself from other candidates or
Okay.
applicants.
All right. Let's try another question, Joshua. How has your experience in college prepared you for your career?
While being a student of college teacher education and being a third year student, I can say that I have acquired a lot of cumulative knowledge and experiences related to my career as future educator. These experiences have made me prepared to the things that I should do, like preparing lessons plan, applying the principles in teaching, and being able to educate other people with my own knowledge. And being an officer of the organization, I was able to impart this knowledge in terms of language and literature by conducting activities like having peer coaching. In that way, I was given the chance to teach in my own way to my peers. So in that way, my experience in college does not only give me an overview of what it looks like to be a teacher, but what it feels like doing to be a teacher. So those experiences are something that shaped me, and I'm looking forward to more experiences that will improve my competence.
Okay, awesome. And one last question for you, Joshua. If I were to ask your professors or your previous boss to describe you, what do you think they would say?
Maybe I would answer this in a way that how I do myself in an online space. I am adaptable, I am flexible, and I am full of effort when doing my tasks. I'm that kind of person who does not settle on mediocrity but settle on excellence. So maybe I'm that kind of person who do things with excellence in doing my online tasks required by my teachers.
Okay,
I'm
wow,
sorry
very good.
with the noise.
It's okay. All right. So that was excellent, Joshua. No, I think you did quite well with that one. So let's have another volunteer. Thank you again, Joshua.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's have here. All right. So okay. Any more volunteers? Next, who would like to give it a try? I'm sorry. So as you can see, no, medyo easy lang naman yung questions. You don't have to feel too nervous about it. It's really a good practice for you to really see if na-understand niyo ba yung sinabi ni Sir Ray kanina, especially when it comes to when you're talking na yung ganyan sa kamay ninyo or where you're looking. I think Joshua did well with that one, no? Na nakatingin siya sa cam. Anybody else would like to give it a try? Meron ba tayong volunteers? Ayun. Let's have a look at our participants. Sorry. Can we have Bustamante, Rhea? Rhea Bustamante? Kung may volunteer, just raise your hand or turn your mic on. That's fine. Bustamante, Rhea. We still have a lot of questions here, no, na good for your practice. So hopefully you will try. Wala si Rhea. Let's try Christine Sinahon. Christine Sinahon. Hindi pa ito graded, ha? Try lang. Practice lang siya for your actual graded na mock interview, which will be next week. And for instructions for that will be next week pa. After this seminar, sorry. Christine Sinahon. If you could turn on your mic. Wala rin. How about, let's have Ella Dehadena. Ella Dehadena. Wala. Masyadong ginalingan daw ni Joshua. Emmanuel Avila. Emmanuel Avila. I hope you guys will take this opportunity not to practice what you have learned for this afternoon. Sayang naman na nakinig kayo pero hindi nyo na-apply kaagad yung learnings niyo for this afternoon. So don't be shy. We're not going to judge you. Instead, we're going to help you in whatever way that we can. Maybe let's try Gail Masada. Gail Masada. Wow. Masyadong masyadong hindi participative ang ating participants this afternoon. Gail Maceda, nangaunsa ka nila ang mga mic o mga cam kay dili man maon.
Pangit po sila kabanding.
Mas pangit na mo kabanding kaysa sa morning.
Joy sila kabanding. Wala sila lami ka bonding.
Tagal-tagal na akong itawag no, di hapon sila. Let's try Jasmine.
Subiaco, ma'am.
Sorry,
Lydel Subiaco.
Sobiaco daw. Sobiaco. Mr. or Miss Sobiaco. Sorry, I cannot find your name. Sobiaco, wala. Wala. Isa pa man. Let's have Katrina Laporte. Ha?
Lydel Subiaco. Lydel.
Aquaidel Sobiaco daw. Are you there? Aquaidel Sobiaco? Wala siya. Miss Sobiaco. Tama ba, Miss?
Yeah, Miss Subiaco, please turn on your mic and also your camera. Lydel.
Sige, go. Go, Miss Aquaidel. Ihintayin kita. Asa naman to siya? Miss Sobiaco, are you there? Wait guys, ano kaulaw? May gani lugar mo, magpa-interview mo, hindi mo matingog, na wajud may makuha ang trabaho. Wala no, kasi si Miss Sobiaco, wala siya. Grabe! Pangit ka bonding nito nila. Lauren Comendador. Lauren Comendador. Or how about si Joshua kanina, Joshua Bazar? Could you recommend one of your friends? Para damay-damay na Joshua.
Is it okay if I will call someone, ma'am?
Yeah, go ahead. If he's a friend, sino yun? Sige daw. I will support you. Sino yung kakilala mo dito?
I'm not sure, ma'am, because they are a little bit reluctant to whether join or try the mock interview, ma'am.
Huwag na kayo maging reluctant. Sino yan? Sige daw. Sino yan? Wala dyan, no? Kain lagi mo ay. You will not end kung si Joshua lang ang nakapag-try ng ating mock interview. Sino ba?
Ako, I have suggestion ha. You call a name and then pag hindi magsagot yung pangalan na tinawag ninyo, then mark them absent today.
I like that idea, Sir
Oo,
Ray.
sige. So call
Sige.
a name, base doon sa mga nandito ngayon present. And if they will not on their camera, if they will not participate, you mark them absent. Which means that if they miss, if they absent today, they will not get any grade in CAED 500. Oo.
Okay, sige, Sir Ray.
Ano lang gawin natin para ano
Ayun,
na?
para
Barcelona.
mag-participate.
Vladimir Putin style na para ano na. Sige.
Sige, so you heard that from Sir Ray na mismo ha. Kung hindi kayo sasagot whenever I call your name, you'll be
Mark
marked
them
absent.
absent today. Even if they're
Okay.
present, mark them absent. Because posible, nagkuri-kuri na sila og laing butang and they have
That's
not
true.
listened to our session. Di ba yan lali magmama-class og more than pila ka oras?
True. So,
Yeah, cancel out lang ninyo.
respeto na rin ninyo yan kay Sir Ray. Kayo talaga. Sige. Let's call Pantorilla Hearty Lane. Pantorilla. Nawala siya. Harap siya. Ayan. Pantorilla. Okay, let's put on hold si Pantorilla. We have a volunteer, Ace. Ace Lawrence. Okay, there we go. Hi, Ace. Can you hear me? Your mic is off.
Yes po, loading. Thank you.
Ayan, there you go. Sige, so Ace, good afternoon. Could you introduce yourself, just your name and your course?
So good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon to our speaker for today. My name is Ace Lawrence Villaneses. I am 22 years of age, and I am a student from the Bachelor of Science in Accountancy from the College of Accounting Education.
Okay, hi Ace. I'm just very
Hello.
curious. Why accountancy?
Actually, it was a very hard decision because when I was in fourth year junior high school, my cousin who was a fresh accounting graduate, he become exposed to the industry and he realized that accounting is a very lucrative career, and he can see that in every business industry that you will partake in, whether you are you are in an engineering firm or in a lawyer firm or in a mall or in an amusement park, whatever industry, whatever enterprise, whatever firm or establishment that you will go in, that you will go inside, you will always see an accountant, because as long as there is money, there is always someone who must know how to handle it. And that is the job of the accountant.
So ano siya, para sure na may trabaho. Doon
Yes.
tayo sa accountancy.
Yes po. I believe
Okay.
so.
All right. Sige, thank you so much for sharing that, Ace. Are you ready to start? Your first
Yes,
question, Ace,
I'm ready.
sorry. What salary are you expecting?
Well, given the technical expertise of being an accountant and with my research in the current industry that we have for fresh accounting graduates, I believe I can expect a starting salary of around 25,000 to 30,000 rather. But I'm willing to talk and converse with some compromises if you may have some options, or you have some, like I said, compromise to that salary po.
Okay, very good. Next question is, if you had to live your life over again, what one thing would you change?
Now, well, that is an interesting question. Well, if I could change one thing in my life, I wouldn't change anything at all, because I wouldn't be right here in my current situation. I wouldn't be like, I would be the person who I am today if I have to change one thing that happened in my past. Because as we all know, time is a continuous thing. If you do something in the past, it will lead to different effects in the future. That is what we call the butterfly effect. And if you would change one thing in your past, it will have a different effect in your future. And I'm happy to where I am now. I am happy that I am here in my fourth year of accountancy, surviving amidst this very hard, very difficult course. And despite everything, despite all of these troubles and all of these difficulties, I'm still surviving, and I am still believing in God, having faith in myself and my family and in my Savior. And I'm happy to where I am now, to tell you honestly. So if you would ask me if I could change one thing in my life and my history, I wouldn't change anything at all.
Okay. We have another question. Is there anything else I should know about you?
Well, you can know that aside from being an accounting aspirant, I am also musically inclined, if that would be something of interest with you, because I love music. I love music first, then accounting, and music puts me in a happy mood, especially when I am working, especially when I'm working or studying. Music can somehow make me productive, make me finish the task faster. Music helps me focus, helps me concentrate. And one thing that you can also know about me is that I am also physically conscious about myself. I try to exercise and work out every day in the morning for about 20 to 30 minutes, because I believe exercise is a good way to keep yourself healthy, aside from looking fit or looking healthy, but it can also curb away of all the diseases, the virus, and all the physical illnesses that you may experience later in your life if you don't take exercise every day.
Okay, wow, very, very sana all, sabi pa nga ni Sir Benji, no? One last question for you, Ace. If you were an
Yes.
animal, which one would you want to be?
Now that is a good question. If I were an animal, well, I would be an eagle, because throughout my childhood, I really wanted to fly, because when I fly, I could see all the things around me. I can see the different people, the different land, the different buildings, the plants, and the trees. And if I were to fly, I could see all of those. And you know, there is one thing about being a bird, and that's why I took up accountancy because there is a chance that I can work in a skyscraper. And if I can work in a skyscraper, I can see the different people, the different cities, the different buildings under me. So although I cannot be a bird, at least I can be amongst the sky. So that is why I wanted to be an accountant so that I can work in a skyscraper. I can see the people around me just like a bird, but not a bird, but an accountant.
Okay. Parang ready na si Ace mag-work sa BGC, no? Sa mga skyscrapers. So, sige, thank you so much, Ace. You did
Yes,
such a
thank you
very
very
good job.
Thank you.
Let's have another volunteer. Thank you so much, Ace. Another volunteer, please. Yun. 18 na lang ang ating participants. So marami nang wala. Sige, I'm going to call on the next person. Again, if you will not respond, you will be marked absent for this session. So let's have Jamara Villasan. Jamara Villasan. Wala. Jamara Villasan. 3, 2, 1. Wala. Okay, absent. Next, let's have Tom Orhel. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Tom John Orhel. Wala. Again, as instructed by Sir Ray, if you do not participate, you will be marked absent and then diretso na incomplete INC tayo sa component C. Tom Orhel, wala. Okay, wala. Sige, next person. Cleofe Cabahug. Cleofe Cabahug. Wow. Daming uulit nito next sem, no? Cleofe Cabahug, wala.
Lumiliit yung attendance, so 66.
Yeah, 66 na
So
lang.
check yung attendance sa
Let's have Raven Brietta. Raven Brietta. I am actually taking down notes. Ayun, there we go.
Ma'am, actually, I have a problem with my internet connection because I am in the province. So I am afraid that if I on the camera, I will be lag out. So
Okay,
as much as I want to participate kanina pa po, yun yung problema ko, yung internet po.
who's speaking, by the way? Sino
Raven
ito?
Brieta.
Raven.
Okay, Raven. I guess Raven, okay lang naman siguro for now na wala yung camera as long as you can answer the question kasi narinig ka namin. Are you game to answer the questions?
Okay po, ayos lang.
Okay, sige. So, Ms. Brietta, quickly your name lang and your course, please.
Hello everyone. By the way, I am Raven Ibrieta. I am an undergraduate of University of Mindanao taking Bachelor of Science in Electronics Engineering.
Okay, wow, electronics engineering. What made you choose electronics engineering, Ms. Brietta?
Actually, it's a kind of hard decision for me because my first choice is music. Since I was 3 years old, I am already learning piano. So my dream was to become a famous pianist and to become like my music teacher who travels a lot in different countries to play piano and made everyone happy. But my parents won't allow me, so I made a choice to become an engineer like my father. So I did took the electronics engineering.
Okay, well, medyo malayo yung music from engineering. But anyway, sige lang, you have time for that soon. So, Ms. Brietta, your first question is, how would you rate yourself from 1 to 10?
I would rate myself as 8 because I am not nearly perfect and I am not perfect. There are things that I still need to learn, most especially I am still a student and I haven't been on the world with like being independent and standing on my own.
Okay. Next question, Ms. Brietta, will you relocate and does relocation bother you?
Not at all. I actually planning to go to Iceland and working on some papers because we have a family friend there who is willing to welcome me and to work in their country.
Okay, and another question, Ms. Brietta, how many hours a week do you usually work and why?
maybe more than it's either 80 or more than 80 hours a day. So I want to make every hour of the day wait, I want every hours of the day for me. I should make use and make something with it. Even though I am not studying, I am also making the time like managing our business, helping my dad to manage it and assessing important documents. And right now I am assessing the car loan of my father in Manila. So it's a hard task because mostly I slept 12 a.m. and woke up 6 a.m.
Okay, and then one last question for you, Miss Brietta. Miss Brietta, tell me about the last time you had a disagreement with someone.
I actually cannot remember any disagreement with someone. Yes, I have, but I forgot the reason why. Because I am the type of person that whenever I have a disagreement, I will solve it and forget about it. I am not the type of person who will, for example, I have a fight with someone and put something, feel hard feelings towards that person. I want everything end smooth.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you so much, Miss Brietta. Even though hindi ka namin nakita, no? Thank you so much for your effort in answering our questions. Let's
Thank you
move on to our next participant. Let's have Luri Chris Australia. Correct me if I pronounce your name wrong. Luri Chris Australia. Again, Luri Chris Australia. 3, 2, 1. Wala. Okay, absent. Oh, may nag-raise. Okay, we have Ren Jude Herona, if I'm not mistaken. Ren, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hello, Ren. There we go. Okay, sige. So, hi, Ren. Thank you for volunteering. Could you share with us your name and your course?
Yes, yes, ma'am. My name is Renzo Terona. I am a fourth-year student of Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, College of Art and Science and Education.
Okay, and why did you choose BS Mathematics, Ren?
Yes, choosing BS Mathematics for me is the highest options that I have when I am currently in high school because I often participate in contests in mathematics. I am an top um, I have attended MTOP and also math and science quiz back in my high school days, and I just really love to have it to do math, even if it's hard, because it makes me happy because it just makes me realize that every problem has a solution.
Okay, wow. Sana
May I
all
ask
mahilig
him a
sa math.
question, Kate?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Which mathematical model or equations you think is the best?
For me, sir, the mathematical equation that I think it's best is the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem
Right.
is yes. Pythagorean theorem is used in many different ways, and it's also the basic foundation in mathematics as in algebra, because algebra is where it starts in mathematics. Even if it's so complicated, you need to use the apply algebra in most of the situations in mathematics that you are solving.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, wow. Sana all talaga ito si Ren. Sige, Ren, let's start with your first question this afternoon. Ren, if I gave you an elephant, where would you hide it?
Yes, thank you for that question, ma'am. If you give me an elephant, I would hide it in the most what can say this in the most secure place, because in my own take, elephant now is very important to us. Even if in the other country, we can relate to it, even if it's big. Even if it's big, we cannot hide. I can relate to this in the way that I would say that I wouldn't hide an elephant because an elephant cannot be hide because if it's too big, it concerns about ourselves also. Even if we do have um, circumstances that we know that it's not good, and you know that you do wrong, you cannot hide it because no, there is no smoke that we can hide. I would relate it into that situation.
Okay, wow, that is a good way of diverting the question, I guess. Next question, Ren. What has been your most disappointing experience?
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so my most disappointing experience in my life is when I failed to solve our uh, research, our thesis in my undergraduate, because I currently retake it because most of our thesis is more on an experimental thesis, and I really do have strong feeling that we can solve it in the amount of time. It's just that other countries already solve it, and we cannot prove it anymore because it has already been published. So that is the most disappointing experience for me, and I also learned from it that we don't have any time that we want. We need to work every day, and um, even if it makes us work too hard, really work hard. We need to do it as fast as we can because we don't know that our competence in this generation right now is too high. So we need to, as much as you can, work hard and work faster so that you will be successful successful in your dreams.
Just curious, Ren, do you know by how many days or months siguro yung nauna for, that they solved the problem before you?
Yes, our research before is it takes because we do have our research mathematics first and then the thesis. It takes more than it takes at least 1 year to solve our thesis, and then our final defense it would be in October, and the published that was same research that we solved is published on August.
Oh, by a few months. I see.
Yes, by a
So
few months.
I can understand your disappointment. Okay, sige.
Yes.
And one last question for you, Ren. I've seen applicants with impressive credentials and good years of experience. Why should I hire you for the job and not them?
Yes, credentials is just a paper for me, and also what really matters is the experience and how hard you work in the field or in the chosen field that you are working on. But for me, yeah, it should be an advantage to have me as I have experience and learned in my education is that we need to think really hard, and critical thinking skills is the basic foundation in our course. And also we need to have a perseverance so that even if it stumbles you, you need to get up and then move on and work again. So in my perspective in working, even if I even if I have do problems in um, getting reaching what I want, there's no need for me to kneel down or to surrender. I'll just need to work very hard again if opportunity pass by, so that I would learn to have I would learn to reach my goals, and there's no stopping me. So that's the most asset that I have, and I really love to get back with my team, and I am a great. I can say that I am a great team player as I played in intramurals as a basketball team captain.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ren. You gave us a lot of good answers there. Thank you once again. So now let's move forward to our next volunteer. Okay. Si Miss ano is at work. Okay. Let's have another participant. Let's have Jesso Cortez. Jessel Cortez. Again, Jessel Cortez. 3, 2, 1. Wala. All right, absent. Next, let's try Erica Jean Fantin. Erica Jean Fantin.
Wait, good afternoon, ma'am.
There you
Am
go.
I
Hi.
audible?
Yes, but we
Wait
cannot
lang,
see you
ma'am.
yet.
The video is not yet. I turn on my cam, ma'am, but wait. I will try to turn it on.
Okay.
It's
sige.
not, unfortunately, ma'am, it's not working. Can I
Ay,
just
sayang.
on my microphone?
Sayang naman. Hindi namin makikita yung kagandahan mo.
Sandali lang, ma'am.
Ayaw talaga. Baka pwede pa ma-push.
Sandali.
Kaya yan.
Naka-phone lang kasi ako, ma'am.
Ah, okay.
Ewan, hindi ko po alam kung anong problema, pero
Visible na po siya, ma'am.
Visible na siya. Okay. Sige.
Naka-back cam po.
Ay.
Sorry.
Yan,
Sorry,
naka-front cam.
Ayun. Sige. I cannot see you, but maybe you're here. Ayun! There we go. Hi, Erica. Sige.
Hi, ma'am.
So, good afternoon, Erica. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please? Go ahead.
I am Erica Jean Fantin. I am a fourth year Bachelor of Accountancy student. And currently, I am in my last sem for these course, hopefully.
Okay, wow. So, pre-rev ka na. Tama ba?
Yes po.
Okay, all right. So, Miss Erica, why accountancy?
I chose accountancy because I have been inspired by my aunt because she had taken accountancy, Bachelor of Accountancy in UM, but unfortunately, she did not graduated as an accountancy student and shifted as accounting technology student. So for me, I want to prove that I can be an accountant. I can graduate as an accountancy student.
Okay, wow. So, konting tiis na lang, no? Magiging accountancy graduate ka na. So, good luck on that journey, Miss Erica. But for now, let's have some questions. Your first question, Miss Erica, is what college subjects did you like least and why?
I can tell that I have liked this because in every subject, it may be minor or major, I have to love it because I have to love it for me to learn from it. But I can just say the college subject that I have a difficulty is that the one that we have a major subject because I have to dig deeper in order to understand it and I have to know everything for me to comprehend and be able to learn it from the very beginning, all of it.
Okay, all right. Another question for you, Miss Erica. You are in a boat on a fresh water in Lake Lanao. In your hand is a rock. You throw the rock into the lake. How is the lake's water level affected?
As I throw the rock on the lake, I can see the ripples in the water. So for me, the lake's water does not move at all, but I had made an impact with the ripples that I had made.
Okay, okay. And one last question, Miss Erica, is what is the important lesson you have learned from this pandemic and how this has changed your perspective?
The lesson that I have learned in this pandemic is that you have to be adaptable. Everything in this world is subject to change because just like this pandemic, everyone did not expect this to last this long. So in order for us to survive, we have to be adaptable and be able to live the life that we want to be. We have to adjust. That's all.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Miss Erica, for answering our questions. Nakakarami na tayo sa accountancy today, no? Sige daw, let's see if we have some more, if we have some more volunteers before I go ahead and choose. Meron ba tayong volunteer from another college? Meron ba? Wala. Okay, let's try Ira Jean. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Jigger? Geiger? Ira Jean. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, sorry. Ira Jean.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're here. Hello, Ira. How do you pronounce your last name?
Geiger, ma'am.
Geiger. Asa naman si Ira? Sige, Ira, could you please turn your camera on?
Wait lang, mamanahin na yung duwas.
Kaya yan.
Yeah. I don't know if... Hi, ma'am.
Where are you? Ayun. Hello, Miss Ira. Good afternoon. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yes, hello everyone. I am Ira Jean Geiger and I am currently fourth year taking up Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management.
Okay, BS Tourism Management. So why? What's your career plan pala, Miss Ira? Ano si Ira? Harap siya.
Sorry, ma'am.
What's your career plan? Bakit ka nag-BS Tourism Management?
To be honest, ma'am, my career plan is just to work in the tourism industry, and as our place was known to be one of the tourism spots in Davao del Sur, so I want to be in the tourism industry as that, ma'am.
Okay, sige. So, Miss Ira, thank you so much for sharing. Are you ready for your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ready na lang. So, your question, Miss Ira, is where do you see yourself in 7 years?
So I see myself as in 7 years achieving my goals and achieving the my goals to my family, that I establish a business, a small business that can I start on, and I'm also working on the tourism industry. And I am also starting to achieve my dreams to my family as well. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Next question, Miss Ira, do you have any questions for me?
To be honest, ma'am, I don't have.
Oh no, does that mean you're not interested in our company?
I don't think I'm not saying like that, ma'am, but for now I'm just don't have any questions because I don't know what the operations or what the operation of your company right now, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And next question, Miss Ira, when was the last time you broke the rules and what was the situation and what did you do?
What was the last time you broke the rules? Maybe it is related to my faith or my faith. Yes, ma'am. Broke the rules. It talks about the rules in the Bible, ma'am. Some and I don't broke the rules of the law, but I easily broke the rules of the Bible. But then, and what did I do as a person who is really as a person that is religious, ma'am? I repent.
Okay, all right. And one last question, Miss Ira, what can you say about those who are non-vaxxers? First of all, have you been vaccinated?
Yes, ma'am. I am.
Okay, and what can you say about those who are non-vaxxers?
People have choices and they have their own choice and I have mine. So just respect with the choices.
Okay, all right. So thank you so much, Miss Ira. I think we have time for one more volunteer. Meron ba tayong volunteer? Volunteer, wala. Wala talaga lang ano. Can I have Jason Lastomen? Jason Lastomen. Again, Jason Lastomen. 3, 2, 1. Okay, absent. Next person, let's have John Rick Malisobo. John Rick Malisobo. Ano ba siya? Wala yung name. Wala siya. Okay. Wala si John Rick.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Hi. Okay. Who's this? Is this John?
Ma'am Janrick Manisopo.
Ayun. There we go. Hi, John. Good afternoon. Sige, can you tell us your name and your course, please?
By the way, can I turn off my cam because our internet connection here is very slow like a turtle.
Oh, but we can see you and hear you, man. I-off mo na lang mamaya kung hindi na talaga marinig. Pero so far, okay pa naman.
Okay, but once again, good afternoon, everyone. And I am Janrick Malisobo from the College of Teacher Education, a normal student in University of Mindanao, and I am 22 years old.
Okay, thank you so much, John. And why did you choose education?
Actually, it's not my choice. It's my father's choice because he believes that it runs in our blood because my relatives, my uncles are, most of them are teachers. So he believes that I will follow their footsteps as well. So that's it.
How do you feel about that?
I
Okay
feel-
lang sa'yo?
Because, I am an average student. I am not expecting a, you know what I mean, ma'am. But yeah, I will do my best and vibe in this course.
Okay. All right. Sige, so John, let's start with your first question this afternoon. John, how do you deal with pressure or stressful situations? Okay, John, ayun na. Hindi na kita naririnig. You can turn off your cam.
Sorry,
Sige,
ma'am.
Ayan, sige. Go ahead.
The question, ma'am. Sorry.
How do you deal with pressure or stressful situations?
Stressful and pressure is not it's not easy, and it is part of it is part of the process. It is part of the life of a person, and the thing that helped me to cope up with stress and pressure in life is music. Music helps me uplift my mood, and yeah, it helps me think positively and do the best that I can.
Okay, that's nice. Next question, John. If you will be hired, what would be your first 30, 60, 90 days look like in this role? So first 3 months. Hello, John? Agoy. Ulitin ko, John. If you will be hired, what would be your first 3 months look like in this role?
That would be a Hear me, ma'am. Do I double ba ko, ma'am?
Yes, go ahead.
If I hired the rule that the rule that would be look like is that it would be amazing and wonderful because it is an amazing opportunity, and to to showcase my my capabilities and my abilities in the work. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, John. And next question. What people from other generations should understand from today's generation? So what should people from a different generation understand about today's generation? Kasi parang iba yung generation mo, and iba yung generation ko, right? So what should people understand?
From different from other generations should understand our generation today because there are differences of our generation compared to them. So if their generation is different, so our generation today is we think that we are good enough but not, and that transparency in our personality is there. But although there are differences, there are differences in our generation, but we today's generation should also consider the generation of other because their generation also reflects in our generation today. So it should have a consideration between the two generations. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you so much, John, for answering all of our questions. Actually, we do have some more questions, pa, but I guess we don't have that much time left. So maybe we can end our mock interview questions there. Give me a moment.
Yes, Kate, ako na. Sige, may konting process lang ako doon sa ating ginawang mock interview. No? I'd like to congratulate for those who have participated our mock interview. Dagdag ko lang that you have to understand the context, no, the intention of the question. For example, worry ako doon sa sagot ni Ace kanina about if there's something that you want to change in the past, what would that be? And he answered that there's nothing, no. What is the intention of why that question is being asked? It's akin to asking a question that what is your weakness as a person? It's not about, diba, I think I have discussed that in the previous session, that it's not important for the interviewer to know about your weakness, but it's about how you turn your weakness into something else and your ability to recognize that we human beings are not perfect. Our life is not perfect, and therefore, if your answer is that there's nothing wrong in my past, it's inability. It's like it's the similar to your inability to not recognize a mistake and make that mistake a lesson for you to be a better person. You know what I mean? So, naano lang ako doon sa sagot ni Ace because I have discussed that last time, and you really have to recognize something, no? Although minsan there's a tendency for us to follow the way that beauty contestants answer in a beauty pageant. If I will be asked a question that if there is one thing that's happening right now that you want to change, there are many things, and we learn from that lessons. One, for example, is the pandemic. The other one is what's happening with Ukraine and Russia. So if I only have the power to change something that's happening, that's going on, I don't like that Russia and Ukraine conflict to happen, because you see the lives, the casualties, no, that you can heard because of what happened, no? And so same as some experience in your past. So what is something there in your past that you want to change and that you have learned from that, no? Okay, I think that's the most important thing there. So questions, you understand the questions, you try to understand the context of the question, the purpose of the question. All right, I think that's all. Kate, yeah, welcome, Ace.
Okay, thank you, Sir Ray. So I guess before we end this one, sir, do we have any other questions maybe that Sir Ray can answer while he is still available? Additional questions ninyo if you have any? Wala tayong additional questions. Sige. If there are no additional questions, just before we end this meeting, let me just make some quick announcements for the upcoming events and for Component C. So on your screen right now, you should be able to see the announcements. First of all is the virtual mock interview. So the main part of this component really is your virtual mock interview. So what's going to happen is we are going to have a via Zoom, we're going to have a virtual mock interview, and then of course you're going to dress up for it, and then you're going to answer some questions, and then we are going to grade you based on your answer. So hopefully no naminaw mo sa mga gipanghatag na input ni Sir Ray today. And then this virtual mock interview will be on March 9, 2022, and then the time frame will be from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And then there will be a rubric which we will be posting on your Blackboard for guidance. Now, we understand that there are some of you who will not be available for the day. So we are giving you another option. Instead of the virtual mock interview, no, instead na ganito yung setup natin, we are offering you another option, which is a mock interview through TikTok. Okay, but before that, basically for your virtual mock interview, I think na-post na siya sa inyong Blackboard LMS. You just have to click the registration link para malaman namin na sasali ka sa virtual mock interview. And if ever hindi ka sasali sa virtual mock interview, ito na yung option ninyo. Okay, so the first one is through TikTok. What you're going to do is you're going to do a job interview attire challenge, meaning you're going to get dressed in your best job interview outfit, of course, following the tips that Sir Ray discussed in our seminar today. You're going to show your attire by modeling yourself to the tune of Butter by BTS via TikTok. So, dun sa TikTok, hanapin niyo yung song na Butter. Tapos, mag-rampa-rampa kayo, show off niyo yung outfit niyo. Dapat makita namin from head to toe. So, kung paano inayos yung hair niyo, accessories like your watch if you have any. And we should also be able to see your shoes. So, the whole outfit. Dapat nakita namin. And then in that video, please make sure to put your full name and your code in the video. So yung sa video mismo na makita namin sa screen, not just sa caption. Okay, so we need to see your name and your code sa video. And then sa caption naman, dun yung nailagay yung hashtag ninyo. So we have hashtag KAID500 and hashtag job interview attire. And then tag nyo yung TikTok account ng UM, which is UM Career Dev. Itag nyo kami. And then the judges will choose top 5 best in interview attire for both male and female. So these instructions nakapost na yata ito sa Blackboard ninyo. All right, so this is the first part. The second part of the challenge will be the actual job interview. So sa job interview, again, punta kayo sa TikTok account ng UM at UM Career Dev. And then look for the duet this video of your coach in component B and C. So your coaches would either be myself, Sir Benji, or Ma'am Iza. Hanapin niyo yung pinaka-latest na video nila. Tapos you duet that video by answering the job interview questions that we have prepared for you. And then the same way, you have to put your full name and your code on the video, not just on the caption, para makita namin. And then in your caption, again, you use the hashtag KAID500, and then the other one is hashtag job interview challenge this time, hindi job interview attire. Okay, ito a job interview challenge. And then for both videos, what you're going to do is you're going to download the TikTok video and then upload nyo siya sa Google Drive. And then yung Google Drive na yun, na folder, yung link nun, yun ang i-post nyo sa Blackboard. Yun ang i-submit ninyo, yung link. Okay, again, the instruction for this has already been posted on your Blackboard LMS. Okay, so again, you have two options. Either you will participate in the virtual mock interview, which will be conducted via Zoom on March 9 for the whole day. Or if wala kayong time for that, you can submit two TikTok videos, one for your attire and the other one for your job interview. Okay, next, nearing the end of our session for KAED, as we have instructed previously sa class meeting ninyo, you are supposed to be prepared, or you should have prepared a career portfolio. So yung contents ng career portfolio ninyo dapat na-discuss na during your class meeting. So you should know by now kung ano yung isasali. Okay, so for your career portfolio, most specifically for your cover letter and your resume, we are expecting to see 2 versions of your cover letter and resume. So kailangan nakasali doon yung draft, which is yung pinakauna na sinubmit niyo sa amin. And then which was proofread already by us, for your coach. And then you also attach the one that has been revised, yung na-edit na. So kung may pina-edit sa inyo, dapat na-edit na siya. So 2 copies yung makikita namin, 2 cover letter and 2 resume. Tapos dapat naka-PDF lahat ng contents ng inyong career portfolio. Okay? Next is, last one is for your culmination day. Your culmination day will be on March 15 That's about a week or two from now at 1 p.m. So the link for our culmination day will still be posted on your Blackboard. And then after the culmination program, you are expected to submit a 100-word essay reflection on the activity. And then, of course, your screenshots for the event. Okay, still in a PDF form. All right. So do we have any questions or clarifications with regards to your activities and the requirements, or klaro ba lahat? Ma'am, if magsali sa virtual mock interview, ang attire is from head to toe pa rin or sa tops? Yes, you should prepare the whole thing. You should prepare the whole thing. Malay mo tatanungin ka ng interviewer mo, can you show me your outfit? Diba? So prepare ka rin. Wag yung naka-blazer tas naka-shorts. Ano, Sir Benj? Yeah, it will be checked. Yeah, it will be checked. So, wag kayong mag-shorts. Mag-get up talaga kayo. Head to toe pa rin. Alright, any other questions? Yes. Ano yan?
Kasi may tanong sana ako, regarding po sa mock interview po ngayong March 9 po.
Yes.
For example, ma'am, pwede po ba instead of yung pencil or shirt po, pwede po ba tayo mag-black po? Like for example, if natin po show me yung body na po nagamit namin for the mock interview.
Pasensya ha, I cannot understand what you're saying. Hindi very yung voice mo. Malayo from the mic.
Ito po.
Sige, that's better.
Regarding po sa attire po, ma'am, halimbawa po, mag-interview po kami, pwede po ba siya, mag-black kami po, black pants po?
Okay. In terms of your attire. Yeah, for females, I think we discussed din ito ni Sir Ray kanina, no? Of course, better talaga na naka-skirt, no? But if you don't have a skirt, then the pants would, I guess, slacks, like you said, would be all right as well. So, depende na yun kung paano mo i-arrange yung attire mo.
Kasi po, ma'am, ang mangyayari, hindi pa po ako nakapagpaalam kay Sir Mainopat po, kay Sir Benji. Paano po yan? Kasi po, pwede ba siya i-message na lang po regarding sa
Yeah.
para direct ako sa kanya?
Yeah, I think it would be better to message Sir Benji na lang para mas magkaintindihan kayo. Okay? Okay. All right. Question from Maria Queen. Ma'am, pwede ba mag-dress with blazer? Pregnant po kasi hindi ako kasi. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. You can wear a dress, that's fine. As long as yung sabi ni Sir Ray na kanina, if you were listening, if you choose the correct dress, it should have the same impact as a suit and a blazer and a skirt or pants. Other questions? Good day, ma'am. Sa mock interview po ba is one-on-one? Yun, one-on-one siya. We will be in breakout rooms if I'm not mistaken. Any other questions? Ma'am, before the actual interview, malaman po ba namin yung schedule namin from 8 a.m.? Yes, because in the registration link, you will be choosing your preferred time slot. John, baka I hope I answered your question. Erica, good afternoon po. Yung mga question kanina, ma'am, is yun na lahat ang possible? No, there would be new questions kasi yung kanina practice lang yun. Okay, so we will have a different set of questions, Erica. Next, Bonahio Almido, if we opted the mock interview via Zoom po, okay lang po ba na sa afternoon po kami, ma'am? Yeah, as I said, you will be able to choose your time frame. What time kayo magpa-interview. Basta within that day siya. John Rick, lahat po ba matatawag sa mock interview, ma'am? Yes, because you will be, as I said, you will be choosing, parang may appointment kayo sa amin. So, yes, we will be interviewing everyone who will volunteer to have the virtual mock interview. Ma'am, company should ang mag-interview. No, Ronel, ang mag-interview sa inyo would be your coaches. Not necessarily your coach, pero kami yung magtatanong sa inyo. Joanelle, just for clarification po, ma'am, do we need to download also the job interview attire challenge and send it? Yes, that's correct. You also need to download your job interview attire kung via TikTok. So yung dalawang videos niyo sa TikTok, download niyo yun, upload niyo sa Google Drive, tapos yung link ng Google Drive ang isubmit niyo. Okay, any more questions? John, hello po, ma'am. Do we need to follow the video template of TikTok Duet, or can we edit it so that we can use our laptops as our video recorder? And then we will just put the original video of the interview question from. Okay, that's actually up to you as long as you answer the questions that was asked by your component coach. By your coach. So I don't know how you're going to edit it. Basta makita lang natin na yun yung ina-address mo na questions. That will be fine, John. I hope I answered your question. All right. Any other questions, clarifications? Wala na? Sige, it seems as if wala na tayong other questions. If you do have further questions na hindi nyo pa naisip, mamaya nyo pa maisip, no? Go ahead and message your coach para ma-address yun siya kaagad. Again, for myself, it's better if you message me via email instead of sa LMS kasi hindi ko nakakita yung messages niyo sa LMS. Mas nakikita ko siya sa email. Okay? Sige, so I guess that's all for today. So yung mga natawag kanina na hindi nag-participate, I have my list over here. So they will be marked absent. May pahabol, ma'am, hindi pa po na-post sa LMS namin ang registration link. I guess it depends kung sino yung yung coach ninyo. So, but it will be posted anyway. Don't worry about that. Ma'am, requirements for interview na ba? No, just yourself and your attire. Yourself. Renel, yourself. You prepare yourself. Queen, ma'am, if I chose TikTok in regards to question for interview, same din pa ba sa questions kanina? Hindi rin. We will be preparing a new set of questions. Ma'am, my question po sa Sir Bench, my question daw sa YouTube. Ha? So, give me a moment. Let me just check sa YouTube. Ano yun? Is it okay to stay neutral sa answer? Give me a moment. Okay, so in that case, yung question na sa YouTube is pwede ba daw maging neutral sa answer, no? Personally, based on what Sir Ray mentioned as well earlier, no, as he discussed, it's better to not be neutral kasi there is some sort of parang may hinahanap talaga yung interviewer sa'yo. So whenever you give them a neutral answer, it's like you're playing safe. So it's better to find a, parang you choose talaga, it's either a yes or a no, it's a true or a false. Hanapin mo talaga yon so that you can show, parang you find a way that you can connect it to yourself, na mabenta mo pa rin yung self mo. Kasi kung magiging neutral ka, wala kang, parang you're not selling yourself. And part of the interview is for you to be able to sell yourself, right, to the interviewer. So when you stay neutral kasi, it doesn't really show your personality, it doesn't show your characteristics, it doesn't show your abilities. So it's better to choose talaga kung ano yung stand mo or kung ano yung opinion mo in terms of your job interview. Of course, siguro meron talaga yung questions na, it's better to stay neutral. Pero in the case of a job interview, it's better really to choose kung ano yung ground mo talaga. I hope I answered that question. Paano ko po malaman ang questions pag TikTok yung gagawin ko? Maria Queen, basically ang hahanapin mo is yung video ng coach mo. Sino ba yung coach mo, Maria Queen? So for example, ako yung coach mo, Maria Queen, mag-upload kami ng bago ha. Yung mga nandun ngayon sa Career Dev, hindi yun yung gagamitin nyo. You wait muna kasi mag-upload pa kami within the week ng bagong question. So Maria Queen, kung ako yung coach mo, yung question ko, yung video ko, yung iduduet mo. So kung ano yung question ko sa video na yun yung i-answer mo. Don't answer Sir Benji's question. Don't answer Ma'am Isa's question. Instead, answer my question kasi ako yung coach mo. Nagets niyo? I hope you understood. Any other clarifications? Wala na? Ay, meron pa. Pahabol. During the walk po sa butter sa TikTok po, dapat po ba talaga formal or like can we move along to the beat or whatsoever? Yeah, you can do that. Not necessarily formal, no? Pero siguro wag na lang kayo sumayaw. siguro at the end, pwede, pero no, I don't advise you to dance because you're just showing off your outfit kasi. So, of course, you can walk to the beat of butter, pero wag kayong masyadong informal kasi din naman you're just showing off your outfit. Yung important is makita namin head to toe yung outfit niyo, tapos yung accessories niyo if ever you have any. May limit time po ba pag TikTok, ma'am? I think meron yan, di ba? Yeah, I think there's a 60-second limit. Wag yung mahaba na 3 minutes. Wag yun. I think it's 15 or 60 seconds. Tama ba? So you choose yung seconds lang, huwag na yung 3 minutes. Masyado yung mahaba. Hello, ma'am. When will be the submission of the portfolio? Yeah, the submission will be on, it will be announced sa LMS ninyo. But for myself, meron na akong due date doon. March 15, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure with the other coaches. So just check your LMS, please, for the deadline. Any more? Wala nang last minute? Wala na? Meron pa talaga. What if sa interview po, may time limit po ba kahit we will not use TikTok as editor? Ito yung mag-edit sa laptop, right? Am I correct? Tama ba si John? Ano yun, sir? Okay. So you base your video on our TikTok video then. So if, for example, our TikTok video is around 30 seconds, ganun yung question, then more or less dun din yung time limit niyo. So do not go beyond, wag na yung mag-minutes talaga, wag na yun. Kasi if I'm not mistaken, it's only 1 or 2 questions. So just abangan nyo na lang yung videos that we will be uploading. Okay, and excited na mag-edit. Sige lang. And if you have any further clarifications anyway, maglagay kayo ng dead air sa TikTok nyo po. No, kasi yung mangyayari sa TikTok is you're going to duet the video. So, okay. So yeah, there will be a few seconds for you to insert your answer. Ganun. Okay? Sige. Any more? Wala na? Wala na? Alright, wala na? Ano pa isa? Okay, Christine, good day, ma'am. I was not able to answer kanina when you called me. That's fine. In fact, okay, that's fine. Are there other means but to avoid incomplete grade? Just reach out to your coach later, Christine. Just message your coach. Okay. Wala na ha? Wala na other questions? Sige. Let me end our seminar there for this afternoon. If you do have any other questions, then please just message your coach. Okay, I hope everyone was able to learn a lot from this seminar. And with that said, thank you so much, everybody, and see you all soon sa inyong mock interview or TikTok videos. Thank you so much and have a good afternoon. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.